Я думаю, що сьогодні найкращий день для того, щоб записати з Анкітом спільне відео, зважаючи на те, що в мене майже немає голосу. Але хто ми такі, щоб йти проти потоку? Ми сьогодні з Анкітом зустрілися і говорили про партнерство, про поєднання соціального і духовного. І я хочу порозпитувати в Анкіта про це і записати для вас, тому що ви дуже часто мені задаєте це питання. So, Ankit, I told about our meeting today and our conversation today, so I want to ask you about some social and spiritual part of life, and it will be very interesting and important to hear your opinion and your experience about it. So, you have a lot of previous experience of your life in different way. You was a journalist, you had a family, you was married, and now you're Lama, yeah? How it correct to say Buddhist, yogin? Yeah, something like that. Okay, so tell me please how modern people, especially young people, can mix their social life and their spiritual life. If it's possible to be crazy, stupid, not correct with someone, and in the same time to be in some high level of consciousness. Of it's a big illusion.
So first of all, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm very happy we are having this extremely important conversation, and I have spoken about this before in my own capacity on my page, also with the work we have done together as well. But I still see that maybe in the Western world, people who are willing to embrace spiritual path, and it's still a new concept for them, they are a bit confused whether it's really possible to blend spirituality and real life. But if we look at any tradition, any real path, spirituality really means integration. Spiritual life and normal life are not different. In fact, the reason why we practice spirituality is not to be away from life, but to understand life.
Okay, spiritual part and social part is some unique part of unique life. But in the same time, we had a lot of knowledges of philosophies when say that we must be without any emotions in our life. We must be every time very silent, very quiet, very kind. How in modern social life all the time to be so kind and open without any angry or something or any emotions like that?
So first of all, this point about not having emotions is also not entirely correct, because through spiritual practice, and if I talk about my path, right, in Tantrism, especially in Tantric Buddhism, the idea is not to ignore the emotion. It's about transforming it. If there is the emotion of anger, so instead of saying anger is necessarily wrong or making it into some kind of black and white story, we transform the emotion of anger. Similarly, each different emotion. So we have 5 sets of principal emotions, and which we identify in Tantric Buddhist path. So delusion, ignorance, anger, attachment, and we have jealousy and arrogance. Of course, there are many other types, but these 5 are said to be the principal ones. But the difference is, instead of trying to suppress the emotions, the spiritual practitioner, the genuine spiritual warrior, they try to use this in their life. That's number 1 point. And number 2 point here is about day-to-day life. So the point is that, of course, through our spiritual practice, we are trying to strengthen our understanding of this world. So the deeper we practice, so the way to integrate is, yes, you should have a dedicated practice wherein you need to have a formal sitting practice where you are with yourself, where you're really meditating, or whichever tradition you're working with, right? Maybe you work with mantras, maybe you work with some rituals. You have to do that. But through that, in my tradition especially, we say after meditation, post meditation is more important, because you could have amazing experience in your meditation. Some people think that by seeing lights or some energy, it means you get some high level.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. High level is when you leave that meditation cushion, when you go back to your day-to-day ordinary life, you incorporate that learning.
Yeah.
You take that wisdom with you in those moments.
I understand. Maybe I understand what you mean, because for me, true meditation, it's our every moment of our life. When I am sleeping, where I am speaking with someone, when I am speaking with myself, when I feel something, it's my meditation. For example, I know about myself, yes, I had some experience, and I know some other people for whom it's very difficult to be in the same way in social life and in their own practices. For example, if I just I'm meditating in my room, I'm so peaceful, I'm so kind, I'm so open, I love everything everywhere, I'm so light. But when I go out from my home, I meet real people, their wrong thoughts, wrong words, wrong acts. For me, it's like something wrong. It's must be changed. So for me, to improve your spiritual part of life, it's to live your life as possible as true with yourself and with other people. For example, I will speak about me. Now I am a very crazy woman for a lot of my followers, because I can use bad words. I can look too much sexy or too much crazy. I can speak about something what is like a shame for a lot of people, and in the same time I can meditate on the Buddha stupa. I can go to the different temples and to connect with different spirits. And for a lot of people, it's like something crazy. How it's possible to eat something sweet, because it's not right, yes, for body, to use some bad words in the same time, to feel your inner God inside of you and to be in connect with him all the time. As for you, it's possible, or maybe I'm only one big illusion for myself.
Well, ultimately, we all are illusion.
Of course. Buddhist lava.
Yeah, this nature of our existence.
All is nothing. It's my favorite words. All is nothing.
Ultimately, it's illusion, but we also have the conventional reality. We have the relative reality, a day-to-day reality in which we have to live, we have to eat, we have to sleep, we have to interact with people. So I will first go back to your original point about when people are just sitting in their cushions or they're meditating, they're peaceful, but when they go out, then perhaps they can be affected by the outside world. So point is that by spiritual practice, it doesn't mean that just through our meditation, all outer reality will change for us. What it really means is also how one of my teachers also explained it. When we do this meditation, it's not about doing some magic on the external world, but how we don't get too bothered by that phenomena.
Yeah.
Because it's still projection. So the example I often give is that, let's say, so you had your start of your day, and typically in normal terms, people say that someone made me angry.
Yeah.
Made me angry.
Yeah.
Just investigate those 3 points, right?
Yes.
Let's say that happened. Let's say some external event really was the cause for you to get angry. Then what happens? Your entire mindset gets affected. So if you don't get a tool to work with that anger, maybe even your whole day will be like that. Whatever you will see will be distorted by the lens of that anger. whatever you will think, or whoever you will meet, even if they don't have any intentions towards you, because of your mindset in that moment, you will feel like that. So the point I'm trying to make is that true spiritual practice, and especially, of course, I'm speaking from my own path, we are trying to investigate this phenomena, inner phenomena, outer phenomena, and the correlation. So does it mean that if something wrong happens or some injustice happens in front of you, we become pacified? No, that's not the point. Again, I will give you another example. So one of my teachers, he told me many years ago he was meditating inside the stupa. And he was meditating. And of course, in our meditation, we typically don't keep our eyes closed, as you know. So he saw that there was an ant, a small insect, walking in front of him. And he saw that there were many other people. And maybe some people could be mindless and they could step on that ant. But he saw that ant, but he was meditating. So he had a dilemma that, okay, should I disturb my meditation practice or what should I do? Then this point struck in his head. But why are you meditating to begin with? Isn't this the point of your meditation? If you see a being and if you're not helping the being, what use is your meditation? So in that moment, he stood up from his meditation, took a piece of paper, put that ant and kept it on a safe place. The moral of the story is that spirituality means engaged spirituality. Your meditation is not static, it's dynamic. It should come in all aspects of life. So even if you meet someone who's maybe doing something wrong or saying something bad, if it's not directly impacting you, in that moment, you just wish them kindness. You wish them wisdom from the depth of your heart. If there is a possibility to actually talk or share your knowledge, and if you can truly bring about a real change in someone's life, fine, we should do that. But in case if it's not possible, we should at least make that wish for them. But we should not let that person or such events completely distort our perception. Because our karma is ours, other people's karma is theirs, right? We project our reality, other people project their reality onto us. So in this way, for the real spiritual practitioner, main point is how to remain in balance in these situations. Not easy to do.
Okay, but on that point, I have one more question because it's really important for a lot of people, especially who are on the start of their spiritual way. A lot of people think that if I want to be in my high spiritual way, I can't be angry with someone else because I need to share kind, peace, love. So when someone can say something bad to me or do something bad or bite me, hurt me, I need to be peaceful and to think only about kindness and about life. It's true.
So there are two ways here. So on the external way, indeed, if we don't have a particular level of realization to transform our anger into wisdom, then we should adopt only the peaceful way. That's also the way that's embodied in my path, in the way of Bodhisattva, that even if somebody tries to harm you or say harsh words, you don't reciprocate in the same way. You don't. But if you are at very high level of practice, you can transform your anger into wisdom in such a way that if you use, let's say, wrath, there is no word for wrath as such, but wrath is not like anger. It's more like enlightened anger in a say of word, right? In Tantra, we use this. Using that enlightened anger, if you can truly even transform that person to the point that you can liberate that emotion, do it. But if you don't have that level, then it's always advised to adopt peaceful way, because why accumulate negative karma? Why create a loop in that moment? Because as we know, if you get into fight or argument with someone, then it's all ego game. They say one harsh word to us, we say it's like a loop. It just keeps cycling.
Yeah.
Then there is no return from it.
A modern person use different instrument in different religion for own spiritual practices, and he can feel good when he is practicing, but other people he can feel some bad emotion. It means that his practices is not working in fact, because they don't go out from the meditate room.
True.
Yeah. So this person needs to change their program, his instrument, or his things about his own spiritual life.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
Now, at the same time, what we are discussing here, this post-meditation, this is not easy, Even for me, sometimes it's not easy because, we are still in this human reality or human world, and sometimes each person has its own triggers. For me, the main trigger gets injustice or stupidity, in the sense that people are behaving in a way that harms them and others. Sometimes I also lose my patience. Sometimes I also have those emotions. So point is that we need to acknowledge that. Another point that I often see, people try to spiritually bypass.
Yeah.
That they don't try to acknowledge the rawness of their emotions, right? It's not like in that moment, if that emotion is coming, you can acknowledge it. But if you think that, no, I'm not even going to look at this emotion, bye-bye, I don't know you, no.
It's not about me, it's not about me, yeah.
Then what happens is, in most cases, that emotion then goes down, festers, and from there, one day, like a volcano, you burst.
Yeah.
And when that bursts, it's ugly, right? I have those issues in my life. When I was younger, I had a lot of anger issues. But my anger issues were also coming because of what I saw in society, where I was coming from. I saw negative things. I didn't tolerate people misbehaving, harming others, or many like social evils, right? So I always say that my anger was more like justifiable anger, but still, what was happening? Even though I could defend myself, saying that my anger happened for the right reasons, but that anger was still affecting me. Right?
Yeah.
It was still playing with my mind. So through spiritual practice, I also try to, each year, with the help of my teachers, until now, still working on these things, still trying to transform those emotions, and it's an ongoing process.
Yes.
But main point is, acknowledge, accept, be real to yourself, and only then true change can happen.
Yeah. And it's the most important for me, agree with me, that anybody can make you happy, anybody can make you angry, or in some other way. To be happy, to be in peaceful, to be angry, to be in different emotion, it's only our own desire.
Exactly.
Decision. Yeah. So when we can understand it, we can understand what it means to practice, to use your meditation, because it's not about some war with other people and with other world, because all unique, you and other people, you and all the world, it's all unique. And if you feel that somebody can make you angry, can make you cry or something like that, it's only your own need to be now in such way and to feel now this feeling. Yeah?
That's very true.
Okay.
So I totally agree with you, and that's the true meaning of spiritual practice, that our practices should help us integrate with all aspects of life.
Yeah.
And then, again, this answers your very first question, that with this approach, we can even improve the quality of our life. This is also what we call as the art of living, that spirituality should help us, right? And I think I want to mention this last point that I've seen also in my interactions with people from Ukraine that most people who are getting now into spirituality were mostly only exposed to Christianity before. Now, Christianity has a different approach, right? Where, let's say, if you see a spiritual personality in Christianity, most likely it's for church father or a nun, then they are celibates, right? They have left the world in a way. They're serving other people, but they're not living normal lives. I think that's also where some of the confusion comes. But when we come to Eastern traditions like yoga, tantra, Hinduism, Buddhism, whatnot, our approach is different. And especially in tantric tradition, which is what I represent, and Tanya has also worked with me on that. So here, it's all about integration. It's not about going away from life, getting rid of life. You do intense spiritual sadhana, do intense spiritual practice, but that should help you see your life in a different way. You should understand the value and purpose of life and how you can make that life truly fulfilling for yourself and those around you.
So, for me, it's most important that all my spiritual practice is for one unique understanding. Life, it's not about plans, it's not about future or past, it's not about high level or some, I don't know, dark light. Life, it's only about feeling now and here.
Yes.
And all what is important, it's your feeling now and here. And for me, it's very important that in Tantra philosophy, I found this knowledge and this philosophy about value of life.
Yes.
That it's your routine, daily routine, your every feeling, every act, everything. This is your meditation. This
Yes.
is your life.
Yes.
That's why I am glad to know it. I am glad to feel it. Thank you so much for this conversation, for
Thank
your
you.
energy, for your answers. I know exactly that it will be very important for a lot of souls who need now to understand what is happening with their life. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Дякую.
Дякую. Я його навчила, я його навчила.
Yeah, she's teaching me Ukrainian. I'm getting there.
Yeah.